If you guys want to become a better fighter or a better mechanical player overall, then this video is exactly for you, as I'm going to be giving you guys the best things that you need to work on if you actually want to get better. To get better at fighting in Fortnite, we first have to talk about edit on release. Now everybody knows that with edit on release off, you need to press your edit bind twice to confirm an edit. But what you might not know is that with it off, you can actually place a build right after you edit. And this applies to every single build, from stairs to cones to floors to walls. If you have the bind pressed already before you edit, it places automatically. And this little detail can actually make it easier to box people up. But unlike edit on release on, you can't do this because you need to let go of your left click. And it's such a small detail that you might not even notice, but it's helped me to stay on edit on release off even after wanting to switch. At the end of the day, this setting is preference, so you could try one for a week, and if it doesn't work for you, then you can switch to the other one after. The next step to becoming insane mechanically is learning how to approach a box and having basic piece control. You should build the habit of placing a cone or a stair in your opponent's box every time you break a wall, because once you place either one, they only have 4 ways to escape. But instead of double swinging to take a wall, you can use your pump, because the sentinel pump does so much structure damage that you can take a wall in less than 2 hits. But taking walls are not that simple, so you need to do it protected or from an angle that you can't get shot from. And the next form of piece control is pre-piece, which is predicting where the enemy will go after placing a piece in their box. But when approaching a box, I recommend to approach from the top, because you have a right hand peek and it's so much harder for someone to land a headshot. And this peek allows you to place a cone from so far away that it basically forces your opponent to fight you, which puts them in a position to where they can't run away. And if they forget to place a cone on the roof, then you can easily take it by using a certain angle to actually pickaxe it and take it and do a double edit. And if you're fighting on height, then once you slip a stair or a cone, then you can easily predict if they're going to go down. And finally, if they decide to go behind, then you can easily do a double edit down, but I recommend having the pre-piece ready and placing cones all around the top before you fight. The second way I recommend to approach a box is using this right hand peanut butter peek to take the wall easily without getting shot at. And using these 2 peeks are the best because it allows you to limit the amount of 50-50s you take in a fight, which is especially important because you need to have that initial damage to start a fight off. And if you get someone low and they try to run away, then that's why you should learn how to phase in, because it allows you to end fights quickly and limit third parties. But be careful not to make your phase-ins very predictable, because that just leads to your own death. But if you end up getting low, then that's why you should learn how to safely pre-fire, so that you can go for counter damage if they keep trying to chase you. Now this is a skill that needs to be practiced over and over again before you actually use it in game, because you don't want to accidentally die if you didn't do it properly. But now I'm going to show you guys 5 drills that you can do in creative, with the first one being a window peek full box, and the second one being a double edit down with the ramp facing to the right, which blocks the opponent's right hand peek. And the next one is a high wall protected retake that you can do into a full box. This next drill helps with side jumps, double edits, and full boxing, so that's 3 in 1. The next drill is sprint 90s, which will help you learn how to sprint while building at the same time. And after that is crossovers, aka clicks 90s. And you're probably wondering, how is this actually going to be used in game? Well, you can see my friend Lozix using some of the things I taught you just now in this game right here in Realistics. He's a great fighter that knows when to pressure opponents and how to actually peek people, and you're about to see a perfect example of him using the things that I just showed you. Since his enemy is boxing up in wood, he easily gets the wall with the structure damage of the shotgun, places a stair in his box, then immediately goes for pre-piece, which works, so he steps back so he can safely re-peek with his shotgun. And with nowhere to go, his opponent is forced to fight him, and he dies. In this next fight, he uses very protected retakes to take height from his opponent. And then he tries to go for a side jump, which doesn't work, so then he uses a high wall to try to get height. And he does, gets a double edit, 50-50s, which wasn't too smart, but it doesn't matter because he gets pickaxed. And if you guys want to get better at fighting, then check out Destiny's Fighting Masterclass, which has a massive Christmas sale for 25% off on all products. Check it out, link in description. And the next step to becoming a better fighter and mechanical player is learning how to win close range fights. In this clip, you'll see I'm using the peek from above to take this wall, and I hit him with a pump, but he hits me, so now we're both healing, and then I'm able to slip down because he was still healing. And right here you can see that he took my wall, so now he has both of these walls, but he opened up this window and went back, because he probably thought that I didn't know that he had that wall, so this allowed me to get a right hand peek and finish up the fight. In any close range fight, it's important that every time you get a kill, you reset the wall instantly, because he shot my wall instead of me, and even though he pulled his blueprint out, he wouldn't have time to reload his shotgun and shoot me. And if there's no wall to reset, then you can always place one instantly after killing someone. But by far the most important part of playing box fights is learning how to play with a peanut butter angle like this and just playing on it the whole entire time. Just look how I took this wall and edited it right at— oh my god. Look how I was able to make an edit solely from a right hand peek, which kept me protected while I was spraying, and then right here you can see it's so easy to stay protected from this right hand peek. And now I'm going to talk about the most important thing when it comes to fighting, which is your aim. So if you hop into Mechanics Training V5 code at the top, you can go into the aim section and start off with glider tracking, which is going to put you in a realistic situation where you're just shooting at someone who's gliding. And if you play comp, then this next section is really important, which is surge tags, and this is probably going to be the one that you spend the most time in when it comes to your aim. And this next section can be really useful if you put it into your warm-up routine every time you play the game, and this specific one is called wall replace. And the next part you should spend some time on are side jumps. Using side jumps in your fights are such easy ways to get some easy tags. If your shotgun aim is bad, then you can do this headshot practice with a bot that teleports every time you get a headshot. And this will help with your shotgun aim and also flicking. And the best aim practice for close range fights is going to be the 1x1 aim duels. This will help you the most with your SMG tracking or AR tracking in a box. And if you want to get better at fighting, then you need to have a good warm-up routine, because you can't just hop into a game and expect to play good when you aren't even warmed up yet. So the first part of this routine is going into Raiders Mechanics Training Map V5, putting on 70% speed and free building for like 2 minutes. The goal with the speed is to have tight, good crosshair placement every time you edit something. Once you feel that your crosshair placement is comfortable, then you can switch to 120% speed and free build for another 1 to 2 minutes. This is going to help increase the speed of your edits, and it's okay to mess up because it's fast and you're not going to be doing this in real games. But to not make mistakes, you have to have good crosshair placement. And the next part of this routine is doing piece control tunnels for 5 to 10 minutes. This will help you warm up for realistic situations that you can do in game. And it builds muscle memory, so you can use these moves in game anytime you want, as fast as you can. And just because you're fighting boss doesn't mean you should try to act like this is a real game. You need to have realistic peaks and try not to 50-50 too much. And to finish up the routine, then you can play either one of these 3 maps, the first one being 1v2 Clutch Realistics, which is very fast paced and it'll help you improve in no time. The second map is Martov's Turtle Fights, which is going to help you with your close range fights and box fighting, and is the best map to get reps in. And the final map that you can finish this warm-up routine with is any speed realistic 1v1. Once you're done, of course, play as much ranked as you can, and that way, you'll become the best fighter in no time. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. And if you want to get better at solo rank, then check out this video right here.